What's good, y'all? Kid Jerome here. I'm reviewing a different album from 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die Every Day, and the 15th one is Off the Wall. Off the Wall is the fifth album by the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson, released in August of 1979. I, like most Americans, am very familiar with Michael Jackson. He's been inescapable growing up. He has no shortage of accolades, legendary performances, inescapable hits. He has serious allegations. He has a strong legacy. There's no shortage of things to say about Michael Jackson. The man was legendary, larger than life, but I haven't really given many of his albums a dedicated listen, and I feel like it's long overdue that I explore parts of his discography. The first thing that stood out to me was the energy of this album. It's very upbeat at times, very danceable. You have very eclectic rhythm sections, like in Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. We have these untraditional spoon and cup-like sounds, just this really tingling, tinny noise, and these really frantic bongos playing these very fast, syncopated 16th notes. It really raises your heart rate, contributes to the energy of the song, really gets you wanting to move. We have another example of this on Working Day and Night. We have this very jingly triangle that accents the beat in a very satisfying way, really gives it rhythmic context. We have these frantic bongos of all things, just going ham the entire time, really keeping up with the track and driving the track to newer heights. Being a dancey, poppy album, a lot of the songs feature this very steady four-on-the-floor drum pattern. We hear examples of that in Dance With Me. We have these strong, intense drums, a trade-off between a kick, snare, and these literally inviting lyrics. He couldn't be more forward with what he wants you to do. He's saying, dance with me all night. And the lyrics and the rhythm really match in this way that's very encouraging, very blood pumping, very intense. We have another example of that on It's the Falling in Love. It's more of a relaxed song. We have this steady, relaxed groove. We have Michael just floating right on top of it with his voice. It's very chill. The drums and Michael's voice pick up simultaneously, gaining energy at the same time, really feeding off of each other and bringing the song to its natural climax. This is the power of the four-on-the-floor drum beat. It's so simple, but so effective and powerful when executed right. It gave Michael the space he needed to really ramp up the song. It gave the other instruments a strong, steady, and reliable foundation. Plenty of room for them to improvise and take the song to this very high, euphoric conclusion. Michael's voice is the strongest selling point of this album for me. It's the star of the show. It's the reason I'm here. His falsetto is wonderful. It feels like Michael featuring Michael sometimes. This very delicate but powerful presentation. It's very melodic and it's just very impressive what he's able to do on some of these songs. You hear very strong representations for his falsetto in the ad-libs in Off the Wall, where he accents these powerful belting lines, and we have the majority of Working Day and Night. A lot of that song, well, almost all of that song is performed in falsetto, and despite the very frantic, very accelerated instrumental, the falsetto lyrics don't seem out of place. They seem more than perfect. In contrast to his falsetto vocals, we have these really intense and powerful belting vocals. He has this insane grit that is almost absent in contemporary music. It feels unfair sometimes what Michael's capable of. You hear examples of this grit, this powerful vocal delivery in the Off the Wall outro and the Get on the Floor chorus. It's a really impressive showing for what the human voice is capable of. He stretches it to its limits and really raised the bar at the time. I really appreciated the high musical quality on this album. Sometimes it felt like like they were focusing more on melodies than they were on lyrics, but in a good way. One example of this was the quiet falsetto on Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. It was barely intelligible. I couldn't really make out what he was saying at any point, but the melodic contour, the way that he sang those words was infectious, instantly catchy. It felt like he was the perfect complement to everything else that was happening in the song. I couldn't think of a single way to improve on his vocal delivery. I feel like he knew exactly what the song needed and gave the song what it needed instead of making the song fit around him. The musical break in Get on the Floor is another example of this. It's especially interesting because for a second, all the instruments cut out, it's just drums, and then you hear Michael scatting. And Michael's scatting is really, really cool stuff. He has all these different little ad-libs. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you've heard it, you know what I'm talking about. That results in this very cool, very powerful, very gritty, very just effective vocal delivery. It feels like he's a master of an instrument that he invented. It's not all nonsense lyrics, though. Some of the songs have these powerful title choruses. You hear examples of this on Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, on Rock With You. The chorus is just the title of the song, saying over and over and over, louder and louder and louder. It's unforgettable after the first listen. A couple of the songs on this album were really stinkers for me. They didn't really fit the context of the album. They were fine in and of themselves, but in the middle of a bunch of disco and dance songs, they stuck out in a bad way. One of these songs was Girlfriend. It's very vapid. There's very surface level lyrics. It's just this lovey, romantic song about Michael courting someone, sort of. It felt like an attempt to appeal to a female audience. For some reason, it didn't feel very genuine. I don't know. I might be being overcritical here, but I wasn't really convinced or inspired or impressed in any way by what Michael was doing on this song. On She's Out of My Hands, it's more of the same. There's this overexplored lyrical content about love lost. It was a very beautiful instrumental, but very amateur sounding. I'll just chalk that up to the 70s, though. It was around the dawn of synthesizers, so it would be unfair of me to hold it to a 2020 standard. But why did he sound like Celine Dion on this song? Like, what is this Celine Dion song doing in the middle of a Michael Jackson album? I wasn't feeling this one at all. Overall, I feel like Off the Wall's greatest strength and weakness is its adherence to formula, its adherence to established musical conventions. What I mean by this is the more disco-oriented, dancey, live, upbeat songs were slam dunks. I feel like some of those songs were absolutely perfect. I really appreciate Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. But on the other hand, his attempts at writing romantic songs was just a little bit weird. I don't know. There was something off about his approach. The music wasn't all that impressive. It's very forgettable. And I feel like there's absolutely duds on this album. I don't think that's a hot take. Some songs that did stand out to me were Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Off the Wall, and Working Day and Night. I would recommend this album to fans of Bruno Mars, fans of disco music, and people who want to dance. But overall, I would rate this album a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the album in the comments below. If you appreciate what I have to say, please leave a like. That really helps me out. You can follow my journey by clicking the link in the description. Most importantly, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video where I review Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. I'm really excited for that one. So until then, peace.